You can tell who someone is by how they treat the waiter. It's never about the food. And then one day, the food was late. You know this moment. The voice changes, and you think, who is this person? I spent 15 years working in places where people come to be seen. Restaurants, hotels, the kind of places where the bill is someone else's monthly salary. Waitress, hostess, personal trainer, yoga teacher, the person at the door deciding where you should sit. After some time, you learn to read people before they open their mouths. By the walk, by the shoes, by the shape of their face, by how much perfume, and by whether the keys land on the table. I've been watching people my whole life. First because it was my job, now because I built a system out of it. He walks in, the hair, the suit, the cologne you can smell from the kitchen, keys on the table, phone on the table, and he pulls out her chair. She's stunning. Perfect hair, perfect nails, of course, perfect smile. And then he orders the hand wave and the look from under the eyebrows. He orders steak. I ask, which cut? He says, just bring me the best one. She laughs. She thinks it's confidence. I've seen him before. Different suit, different girl, the same hair, and the same keys on the table. I used to ask questions just to test. Sometimes I couldn't keep a straight face. 15 years. You know, the ones who actually have it never put their keys on the table. And one day the food will be late. And she see what I saw the moment he walked in. And then something small always goes wrong. The food is late. You've heard this, like, hey, waiter, we've been waiting for a while. Or, we were there before them. Or, this is not what I ordered. Or, this doesn't look fresh. Or, I'm not paying for this. Or, I'll leave a review. Or, do you know who I am? It felt like 10, 15 minutes. And that moment, when something small bypasses everything, the kindness, the patience, the charm, everything gone. I know a woman who cried because the salad was too beautiful. And I wish I was joking. I've been on the other side of the table too. Not as a waitress. I was called a parasite at 7 a.m. over a jacket. And I hadn't even had coffee yet. Bruises healed. Words don't. You forget where it happened. You forget what day it was. But you remember exactly what they said. Some people don't, okay? Even 10 years later, 30 years later, your whole life. But you don't remember the words. You remember how those words made you feel. That's how you know it stayed. And the words were just around it. They activated it. You can understand where it comes from. You can see the pattern. That doesn't mean you stand in for it. And forgive. But please don't forget. Forgetting is how you end up back at the same place. You've seen it in someone you love. The moment they stopped being the person you fell in love with. And for sure you felt it in yourself. The moment you heard your own voice and didn't recognize it. People tell me it gets easier. I don't think it gets easier. The anger is still there. The irritation is still there. You definitely still snap. You still hear the voice come out. The only thing that changes is the space after. You hear it, and for 1 second, maybe you see it. And that 1 second is everything. It doesn't get quieter in your head. You just stop letting everything in your head come out of your mouth. Stop controlling your life. You fell in love with someone. And then one day the food was late. And you saw someone you didn't recognize. Maybe it was them. Maybe it was you. You know which one it was.